So you want to be a virtual tarot reader? Or just kind of interested in what a full-time virtual tarot reader's life looks like? You came to the right place, because that's me. My name is Semi. I have been on my spiritual journey here for about, what is it now, 10 years. My handle is Semi Uncensored Mom across pretty much all platforms. I quit my full-time corporate job at the end of April of this year, so 2021 was when I finally was like, I think I can do this. I trust myself. I've done readings on it. I actually had 3 grandparents that passed away a few months back to back from each other, so I was constantly doing like mediumships with them as well, that I got a lot more clarification too. So I added on to my spiritual team, so I felt good. It was time to do that. Now I do readings by all different types of way. I'll do them by phone, private Zoom, one-on-one. We do it on TikTok Live, private YouTube videos, emails. During the day is when I like to do my text messages. Now for me, I am a night owl, so day, I say day with quotation marks because my daughter does go with her grandparents during the day, but then she comes home and it just seems to work out best for me if I work at night, so that's what I do. Right now it is currently 2:35 a.m. Rest for my day. So how do I clock in as a full-time virtual tarot reader? Let me show you. First I need my clock inner. There. Clocked in. As a Leo, I'm more drawn to candles. I'm a fire element, so I'm really drawn to the candles, so that's another reason why I always like to kind of start my day, clock in that way with those candles. Now there are some practices that don't recommend using a candle lighter like I just did. They use the matches. A lot can be said behind that per practice. I don't practice anything specific, so I'm obviously going to respect that and not talk too much about it. But what I do like to do, especially in something like this when I'm sitting down doing private orders, I have my tapered candle. I will use this candle with my master candle, the one that you guys just watched me light. I will use that to set this one on fire. Using this candle, we'll go around and light all of the other candles, saying thank you to my deities, thank you to my higher self, just showing my respect before I go ahead and jump on into this. So let me show you that. So here's my master candle. I'm going to go ahead and use this tapered candle, and we are just going to catch a flame. There she is, beautiful. Being careful not to spill wax everywhere. I will set each wick on fire here. We'll get this candle lit. This is a newbie. This is one of my Mother's Day candles. I don't get too into scent. Maybe some air signs do, just air scent, right? Following me here. I don't. But I am, again, I'm particular with my color, so I did ask for white candles for Mother's Day, but that's just from Bath & Body Works. It's actually pink lemonade. Before I start doing readings, I really like to just set the mood, get myself really grounded, so I'll go around and I'll light all of my candles and just really take that moment to ground myself. Now I gotta refill my candles here. It looks like I have burned the midnight oil one too many times this week that we are out. So we will go ahead and we will grab new black candles because I do really like to always have a black candle as well. Now I was able to get a big box of these votives on Amazon. It came in a pretty large count, but you can look for a large count of black votives. The only thing I would recommend whenever you're buying votives like this, I like to set a lighter to the bottom of this to melt the wax around here, and once it's pretty melted, then I'll just give this metal piece a good push down, because what I've noticed for most votives, they have the hole here, which mine's like filled with wax right now, but there's a hole down there, and the bottom of this will slide down into that hole, and then your wick will go out. So I like to go ahead and just melt this in place, because I also will watch the flames in the middle of a mediumship, and obviously if the wick is being messed with, that messes me being able to read the flames. I am seeing you right now. You're hitting that subscribe button. You're liking this video. You want to stick around for more? Oh my goodness. I thought we were vibing together. In addition to lighting these black candles, I will also light the candles on my altar for my deities and my higher self. As of right now, you guys aren't allowed to see that. I think we're making headway that I'll be allowed to, but right now my deities are telling me not to be showing them, not to be putting them on blast. I know a lot of people do on TikTok, but just hasn't been something that sat right with me, and I guess in conversation with them as well seems to be standing true here. Now on top of that though, with my deities, I do like to have them as my extra layer of protection. Oftentimes they have came to me and was like, hey, like now you're pushing too much, stop. Because when I'm doing orders for people, obviously like mediumships, they have questions, they want to ask their loved one stuff. Sometimes it is just not their place to be, it's not needed to be told. It'll cause further damage. It's not, a lot goes into play with that they're not allowed to know that. For me, on my end, from a business, I want to give you what you're asking for. You're paying for this. I want to make sure your questions are being answered. So I will keep poking and I will keep prodding and I'll be like, hey, but they just need to know. Give me like something. Okay, if you won't tell me a full answer, then just give me something. And then that's whenever my deities will come in and they'll be like, semi-stop, like enough. I like to go ahead and light a candle for them, just kind of get them ignited, honoring them, saying, hey, thank you so much for protecting me and for giving me a heads up when needed. I'm not going to grab all of them, but I'll at least grab you guys one. I use the, what is it, the 7-day prayer candles, just from Dollar Tree because I burn them so much. Ooh, she's talking to you. I light my black candles, just working with different spirits. I think that it's important to have that protection. So when I light my black candles, to me, what resonates with that is my protection. And I also have, we just lit a white candle. I'm going to light another white candle. My white is for clarity. That's what I use for that. And I use the flames as like my energy. It energizes me while I'm doing this. For me, that's like clocking in. I know it's game time when we're lighting these candles. Now, I do have a feather, because some people say you're not supposed to blow the candle out. So I do have a feather. However, especially for days like this, for most days, most times, to blow my candle out, to put out the flame, I'll just simply, just like that. For the most part, I seem to only use my feather hex removals or curse removals or jinx removals. Anything kind of dark and heavy like that, I will use my feather. But other than that, and especially too when I sign off, we'll just blow the candles out. You don't need to use a feather all the time. After I've had all of my candles kind of placed where I want them, what I'm gonna do here, got my altar one that I can't show you guys. I like to pull out my decks. Tonight actually we are doing animal readings. So I have 2 cat order readings. That's what we're gonna start the night off with. Here on the side of my desk here, I keep a lot of the main decks that I use, so in a pinch I can grab them if I need to. What I also have out is my pendulums. So there are times, especially during mediumships, I like to grab my pendulum. Then we jump on to Etsy. I will see what it is that I need to do today, like what takes top priority, what needs to be done. And once I got a good game plan, and I already know off the bat because I've been dying to do this cat one. I'm excited. I've read for this person a few times or in private readings, and this cat would come around. So I've already got a little bit of a feel for their energy that I know it's going to be an interesting one. When I do animal readings, I do like to stick to my animal cards. So for this cat reading, I'm going to use the cat tarot. I have a dog tarot, and then I also have an animal kingdom tarot, which has a lot of the other animals. So if I'm going to be doing a reading for something outside of a cat or a dog, like a reptile, I would use the animal kingdom. What I will do from time to time is use my pendulum. That's again whenever the pendulum comes in handy. I'll use that to see which one the spirit that I'm talking to, which animal, what deck they want to use, because sometimes they don't want to use the Enchanted Blossom. So I'll lay out my decks. Spirit Messages is another good one. I have a couple other oracle decks that I will use. And ask them, okay, which one are we using today? So right now I'm setting up for a private video. I think it's very important to shuffle cards on camera and then pull them so that everybody knows they're getting the cards that they're supposed to get. What I really like about this camera is that I can stop it using my phone. There's a Bluetooth controller, so I can stop it, I can play it, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, which is nice because especially during mediumships, I like to, sometimes I have to stop the video just to kind of get clarification for the sake of YouTube and uploading. It can be a lot to try to do that, right? Like record the whole thing. So if I need something, if something doesn't make sense, I'll stop the camera and I'll go ahead and just kind of clarify, communicate a little bit more with the spirit, and then hit play again. So that's where it's perfect for my phone to come in handy. Now, in addition to that, I also had one of my lovely Tarot Talk fan members. They made me this board, which I use a lot for text message readings originally. I would lay out the cards and the crystals and then take a picture. It has been very, very nice for mediumships as well, or just, I mean, private videos in general. One thing that I do is, as I was saying earlier, I will shuffle the cards on camera and pull like we are here in this setup. But then we'll pull the camera down lower and I zoom in on my board, which I will put crystals with, and I'll just do a couple cards at a time. Typically then while I'm talking, they can see the cards more up close and personal. And I think that's really nice, especially with like this deck where different animals for each card, and I really like it. Is it easy? No. There are a lot of readers out there, and it only keeps growing. I have to constantly promote myself. I will say that I have been blessed to have had my Tarot Talk fam who definitely support me, and even if they're not getting a nightly reading, they will still come by and show love, and it really helps others to feel comfortable in my chat, to feel welcomed. So I think that that's the most important. So much more I want to say here. But just because I say that I clock in at night, that doesn't mean it's the only time I work. When I'm done for the night, I go ahead, we close down here. As soon as I lay down, I'll do one last scroll through my messages. When I wake up in the morning, I'll have messages. Okay, it's constant, just because this is my time that I'm actually sitting down to record videos or to like focus one-on-one with things, but it doesn't really ever stop. And when you're doing personal readings, people then want to personally connect with you. And I have been struggling with finding a good, healthy balance, a boundary line between connecting with my clients, but then also needing them to recognize I would love to be able to talk to everybody one-on-one, but it can be really, really difficult. Sometimes it makes me sad. Sometimes I get into these little spurts where like I get in the dry spell, people not messaging me, and I'm like, there's nobody like me, like what's going on, like da-da-da. But then they come back. It just seems to always be that everyone like wants to dump on me. That's the biggest problem, is people will send paragraphs that when you're getting so many of those throughout the day, it can be a lot. I never really get that break. Sometimes, you know, I do just kind of take my hiatuses of I can only really respond. I got so much business things to do that I have to respond to business emails, and it can be difficult to for people to understand that, you know, they think like, oh, well, let me just ask you a question real quick. Can you say yes or no? I can give you an answer from a friend perspective, from an outside perspective, but if you're asking me on a psychic level, if you're asking me through reading the cards, no, I can't just pull out the cards and just answer you real quick. Like, that's energy there that people are paying for. So it can be difficult, but well, oops. I meant to blow that out at the end, but I guess we're going to do that now. So it's hours later. I'm exhausted. Got quite a few orders done, so I'm very excited about that. I feel it. I feel powerful. I feel good. I definitely plan on making some more content talking about the side of being a virtual tarot reader, giving some more aspect of that. Also started selling crystals, so I plan on talking about some crystals and their properties and what crystals can be good for on a more witchy woo side of things, as also on a mundane side of things. So stick around. We got a lot to go from here. This is only the start. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those questions below. You hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following me. I am Semi Uncensored Mom here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. My Etsy site is also available under Semi Uncensored Mom. I look forward to coming back to you guys. Take care. Good thing I got a lot of candles. I can keep doing that. Hey you, yeah you, don't forget to subscribe so you can be entered into a free reading giveaway.